Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck from Nevada, Iowa, and I'll let you figure that out, is Six of Stones, Exploitation. And going back through my memory, this has come up each of the last 3 weeks. And I think the first time we talked about it is exploitation of others taking advantage of you. We've also talked about the exploitation of resources. And, today I want to talk about the exploitation of what goes on through your normal day. Okay? Again, this card is all about the overuse of resources. And that, what it does is that causes an imbalance that is damaging to yourself. Okay? And if you think about how you use your resources during the day, whether that's biking, exercising, mental aptitude, through work processes, your communication style, with your relationships, the promptness of your timing with your social activities, if you're out having a good time with others, the overuse of your resources is, staying out too late, not being able to function correctly at work tomorrow. Okay. Could also be, the overuse of resources in that aspect could also be imbibing too much. Okay. If you look at it in a relationship, if you're not communicating enough, that's the underuse of resources. Okay. And an overusage of that would be where you're communicating too much to your significant other, where it's not using the resources and the time correctly. And a great analogy on that would be, say you're getting ready for a trip, okay, and you're trying to pack a car, or you're trying to pack your trailer, or pack a suitcase, and you have that thought process in your mind on how to do those things, okay? But if somebody's always talking to you in the background, asking you questions about what they should bring and what, do we have enough of this, and do we have, it throws you off your path, throws you off the process that you want to think about things, okay? In that process, you may forget something. If you're thinking about it at work, the exploitation of resources at work is, using the resources that you do have to get something taken care of. If you don't use them right, if you have a question and you don't use them right, the chances are that something's going to get messed up. Okay. And if you use them too much, okay, they're not going to respond as quickly as you would if you didn't overuse them. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The exploitation of the planet's resources is motivated on a flawed belief of entitlement. And, as I'm riding through Iowa, I've got to meet some interesting people. And, COVID has made an issue of exploitation. It's having a conversation, and they said here in Iowa, COVID hit the meat packing plants. So as a result, some of these people had to work 6 feet apart, doing a safe distancing thing. But as in the slaughterhouses, this is where the story was at. If they're 6 feet apart, that means half of the animals are not getting slaughtered. Okay. If half the animals aren't getting slaughtered, half the animals are still sitting on a farm and have to be put down anyway because they've reached that maximum weight for them to go out. So now the farmer's out, half of his lot of pigs or cows or whatever it is he's raising. As a result, COVID has exploited his resources to have a good crop or a good harvest, or a good whatever they call that, taking their animals to slaughter. All right. here the farmer is thinking, oh great, we're going to have a great year. I got all, I'm going to raise these many pigs or these many cows, and I know by a certain date they're going to be this weight, and boom, take them in, you get paid. Now he's only getting paid half that amount because the slaughterhouses are only taking half, of that because they only have half the people working. Okay, and as a result, you're seeing your meat prices go up as well. That belief of entitlement, okay, that the farmer had, was kind of blown out of proportion. Okay, and it's that flawed belief that the planet's resources can continue to do what they're going to do. And we don't know what's going to happen with crops and stuff like that. But, as you see in the world right now with the financial, education, the government and health systems all breaking down, we tend to lose faith in our leaders. I know where I'm from, I have faith in my leader to do the right thing. Not that, I feel entitled to do my job from home or to do my job at the job site. I have faith in her to make the right decisions, okay, to protect my health. I have faith in my organization to make those same decisions for my health on a travel policy. I may not like it, others may not like it, but guess what? In order to stay safe, you have to be safe. In order to be safe, you have to follow the rules, whether it's an internal policy or whether it's a state policy, okay? So as we're seeing all this change going on, and it's an exploitation of the health system. It's an exploitation of the government system and how, face masks were handed out, testing's handed out, the results, how they're handed out. Everything's being controlled by the government. Education's going to take on an aspect here. What are these kids going to do when they have to go back to school here in another, 3 to 4 weeks? How school system's going to, take care of that? Okay. What COVID has done is it exploited the learning system, the educational system, saying, you know what? No longer can you have 30 kids in a classroom. Now you can only do 15 because you got to keep 16, 6 feet apart. And no more transferring around rooms. Everybody's going to stay in their own room. Okay, now you have a shortage of teachers because now you've got more kids that are out there, okay, and a teacher's got to teach so many kids all of the elements. Now you're exploiting their skill set. Maybe one teacher's only good in science, but now she's got to be good science, math, English, writing, and whatever, depending on what grade the kids are in. Okay, so now you're seeing how COVID is exploiting the educational system as well. We need to be aware of our worldly exploitation so our children will not have to suffer. Online classrooms. You're seeing this in the colleges. You're seeing this in some of the high schools. You're seeing this in, some of the, the middle schools, okay? By showing our children how we can use our resources in the correct way, not be overtaxed, not be overburdened with, oh my gosh, I don't want to use this, or I don't want to do that, or, teaching them the right methods of conservancy, okay? Taking them out into the world, all right, and showing them, Iowa with the slaughterhouses and the cornfields and where everything comes from, and, taking them to the cities and learning about the history of, the major cities in the world, okay? Looking at the government systems, all right, and have them sit in courtrooms, all right, and watch judicial systems run. So they have an understanding, okay, of the resources that they have. Just not the planet's resources, just the resources of everything, okay? So that way when they become young men and women and they're out there in the world trying to find their way, they have a better understanding, okay, of life. They're not exploiting the resources. They're not out there, kids are going to be kids anyway. They're not out there thinking, that everything's going to last forever. Okay? COVID's not going to last forever. We're going to find a vaccine for it, and people are going to get inoculated, and, people are going to be better about it. Okay? But if we can, as a result of COVID, it's making us learn different. It's making us do things different. Wearing face masks when we have to. You know, your kids growing up are going to remember this, okay? And they're going to remember, yeah, this happened 20, 30 years ago, you know, in the future. They're going to remember that. You know, I remember back in 2020 when we had that COVID thing. And maybe they had continue to have outbreaks, but they're not going to exploit the system because they've already been through it. They can rely on their parents or their grandparents at that time, you know, can talk to them about COVID-19, COVID 2020. Yeah, I remember when I had to wear a mask, you know, and I remember we had quarantine days and stuff like that. And they're going to be looking at you going, what? You know, and the parents can say, yeah, that's true. You know, this is what you need to do to prepare. Don't exploit the system that you have, whether it's a healthcare system, whether it's a educational system, whether it's just a process within your own life. Don't exploit that, okay? Don't exploit those resources that are going to keep you healthy, keep you financially stable, keep you financially secure, okay? Keep you mentally engaged. Don't exploit those resources. So this is D for the Spirit's Path. That's that, you know, card of the day, the Six of Stones, Exploitation. Make sure you hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments down below. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and have a great day, everybody.